Welcome to a new edition of Harness Central. I'm Harold Howe, still in Harrisburg. I'm here with Adam Bowden of Diamond Creek Farm. Adam, let's talk about a whole bunch of things. We're early into the second session of the sale here. Session one's over and you just sold another one. What's your thoughts? Are you seeing any trend, or what's your sense of things?
I think the sale's very strong so far. I think I read up 21%. Seems like the right horses are being sold for money, and it's going to trickle down, I think, just like Lexington. I think we'll find that the sale's up overall by a significant amount from last year.
Let's talk breeding industry. A rock and roll dance. You've announced he's done. He's going to study your Pennsylvania farm. And I guess, what are your expectations? It's a crowded state.
Yeah, it is. But, he just arrived the other day and is doing well. We're going to collect him and test him soon. Syndication is in the works right now. I think we've priced him appropriately. He's going to stand for $6,000, and we're going to sell shares for $20,000. I think from the response I've been getting from people, it's very strong, and I think we'll have no problem selling the amount of shares we want to sell. And I think expectations are he'll get a full book, and I think we're headed that way.
Well, certainly there'll be a lot of interest in Canada, because maybe his greatest effort was the Canadian Pacing Derby, and if anybody didn't like that race, they just don't like races.
Exactly. He kind of turned it on just before that, and then he put together a string of races where he paced in sub 48 three straight weeks, and I think he kind of showed the type of horse that he was. He was a great 2-year-old, fast, and he won the Meadowlands Pace at 3 and then came back at 4 and won a prestigious race in Canada, so he's kind of shown.
And this year's group of older horses, I mean, it was kind of stepping back in time to when you used to have what they call the Saturday night specials. I mean, what a tough, deep group of battle-hardened old warriors. And, I mean, there were no gimmies in there.
No, absolutely not. I mean, as a fan of the sport alone, it was fantastic to watch between Rock and Roll Dance and Pet Rock and Bolt de Door, and Thinking Out Loud ended up winning a race, and War We Needy was fast, and Sweet Lou was great, and then you add in the older horses, and it made for a tough go every week.
Let's talk trotters, creatine. I mean, this boy of yours has really come to life the last 6-7 weeks here. Although your trainer Bob Stewart, he always, at least talking to me, had confidence in him, certainly going into the Hambletonian and so forth. What's your take on his season? He's got 750 made about this stage.
Yep. He's been kind of earlier in the year, we knew we had a good horse, and we just couldn't get him over the hump, and they discovered a slight breathing problem. It got corrected about 4 weeks before the Hambo, and leading up to there, I think we thought we had a pretty good shot, and came up just a touch sick. Ended up winning on a limb, which was fantastic. And then from that point on, he actually got better with the heat racing, and I think he got stronger, and he got and he ended up racing the 2 heats in the futurity, performed very courageously there, and then went to the Breeders' Crown. A little bit of tough luck, but he's kind of shown that he's a tough horse, and he keeps getting better as we keep racing him. So. And
what's the plan now with him?
He's going to race Saturday in the American National, and then he'll be done for the year. We'll put him away. He's healthy, he's happy, and in good flesh, and we'll bring him back and race him again next year and see what happens.
Do you like the prospect of bringing back a 4-year-old, which you have to do with the stallions if you're going to stand them at stud, given the rules in play today? But it's shown, bringing back a 4-year-old sometimes isn't a lot of fun.
No, it's tough. The 4-year-olds have to compete against the older horses. He would have come back regardless of what the rules were. He just is not quite at that upper echelon yet. He's got to, he had to prove a little bit more than he did. But it's going to be tough sledding for him. But I think we're ending the year, and he's happy and he's healthy, and I think we got big thoughts for next year. So.
For the benefit of the people who haven't been up beside him, can you describe him as an individual?
He's a pretty big horse. Bob and Linda Stewart say he reminds them a lot of Andover Hall, head-wise, and physically as well. But he's still he's still growing. He's still filling out, and I think next year he'll be a bigger and stronger version of the horse you saw this year.
Obviously, you thought a lot of him as a yearling.
No, Not at all.
I know the story.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do now, but he got injured as a yearling. We had to take him out of the sale. Actually, I thought I would end up having to put him down, but my father convinced me, along with the staff at the farm, to kick him out in the paddock and kind of forget about him for a while. And then we sent him to Maine and knew really early on that he was a top horse, and sent him to Bob in July of his 2-year-old year. And as they say, the rest is history. So.
Well, congratulations on all fronts, and good luck with the rest of the sale.
Thanks, Harold. Appreciate it.
Harold Howe with Adam Bowden, giving you the Harness Racing Edge.